Ready? Chapter 33. Snitch. It was the night shift. Edda and Jorun were having a staring contest. Ha! You blinked! I win! Jorun exclaimed. I did not, Edda said coldly. You did! You're such a sore loser. I am not, Edda responded in an emotionless tone. Jorun laughed at her fellow general. Finally found something you're bad at, huh? Ayla said to Edda as she sat down next to Aino. Edda turned her head and looked at Ayla. No. Either way, I'll be taking over now. The both of you should get some sleep before it's time to leave. The two generals stood up and nodded at Ayla before they walked off. You seem different from yesterday, Aino remarked. 30 years of pent-up feelings came to the surface at once. I assure you that was the first and last time you will ever see me like that, Ayla said calmly. You know, when I saw you yesterday, Storsteina came to mind. Who is that? Someone you know? Ayla asked, curious. No, it was before my time, but she made quite the name for herself back in the day because of her height. She was Sami, just like you, Aino answered. A woman as tall as me. I would have loved to meet her, the general said and smiled. I know I can't order you to do anything, but I would really like for you to tell me all the events from the first meeting with Juha and Atle until today. Ayla turned her head towards her creator. How detailed do you want me to be? Aino asked her. I want to know everything, Ayla answered. You're not going to like it. Let me be the judge of that. Well, you asked for it, Aino said with a crooked smile. Ayla's loud voice rang across the camp. You were supposed to guard our creator with your life, yet you let her get shot twice and insulted her repeatedly. Ayla's eyes were wide open. She was so angry she could hardly think straight. Her lieutenant general, her closest man, her stand-in, he of all people. She raised her hand, ready to slap him. Juha looked at his general in shock. She had never laid her hand on him before. He blinked a few extra times to take in what he was seeing. Explain yourself or you can kiss this army goodbye, she demanded with her hand still raised. Juha took a deep breath. He had to face this head on. I would have protected her that day that she got hit by the arrows if it was possible, but there was no time. She would not have gotten that hurt if it wasn't for the fact that she was protecting Keon with her body. You know it more than anyone how much I would sacrifice for her. I would give my life for her. When it came to the mission, it was her idea, and what our creator wants, our creator gets. Also, she wouldn't have gotten hurt if it wasn't for the fact that she once again acted as a shield for Keon. Juha pointed to him. Ayla took down her hand and stomped over towards where Keon and Aino were standing. Keon looked up at the giant angry woman standing in front of him. He had never felt so small before. What's your catch on our creator? Are the two of you dating or something? She locked eyes with him. He felt all his blood drain from his face. A few seconds went by as the two of them just stared at each other. Tula came up beside Ayla to break the silence. I don't think they're quite at that stage yet where they have all those technicalities sorted out, he said in a low voice to her. She broke her eye contact with Keon and looked at her partner. Oh, okay then, never mind. She walked back to Juha like nothing had happened. Keon held his hand to his chest. Damn, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. You didn't say no, Aino said in response. Huh? He said confused. When she asked if we were dating, you didn't deny it. She turned to him with a big grin. Our creator didn't make it seem like she was angry with you for those incidents either, so I'll let it pass for this time. However, you're going to give her a proper apology for each of the times you insulted her. There is no excuse for that, Ayla said to Juha. He nodded at her. She was right. There was no excuse. Banke parked himself next to Ayla. You know, if you're choosing a new lieutenant general, you have a great contender right here. He pointed to himself. You're skating on thin ice, young man. From what our creator told me, you've been falling asleep repeatedly during your night shifts. She turned her head and glared at him. He gave her a strained smile in response as he slowly backed away. You sure have created an interesting morning, Atle said as he sat down next to Aino. Feels good to finally see you are getting scolded. How is Ayla in temper compared to Niila? Aino asked him. Niila is a hothead. Ayla is pretty calm compared to him, he answered her. What do you think he'll do when he finds out about the mission to rescue Ösa? You let 2 of your generals go and save a general from another army, taking me with them. I mean, if Ayla reacted this way, how do you think he is going to act? She looked at him as he froze mid-motion. You're going to tell him? He slowly turned his head towards her. I like you, Atle, but not enough to lie for you. If Niila asks, I'll tell him the truth, she answered calmly. Atle stood up with a blank expression on his face. What was Niila going to do with him? Aino looked at him as he walked away towards the other officers. This is amusing, she said with a smile. Keon looked concerned at her. You're changing. This isn't like you. Before you talked about all of their feelings, all of the pain flowing through you. How it got worse for each camp we went through, as more and more officers joined up. But now you don't. What changed? He asked her. They're healing. Time is healing them. But also, the closer the officers of the 2 armies get to each other, the warmer the feelings become. The animosity is going away. Instead, hope is rising within them. Hope of one army, a strong army, a powerful army. They long for that power more than anything. It's intoxicating, and it's hard to resist. Power over others, determining their fate, shaping their future, she answered him. I was talking to Tia. He guessed that you'd like to have me around because I treat you like a normal person, that I keep you grounded. Is that true? Keon kept his eyes on her. Yes, people are dangerous. If you do not surround yourself with people who will say no when needed, you could end up becoming the very thing you swore to never be. Most of these officers are yes people. They see me as their god. Soon I will stand there in front of more than 6,000 of them. I will be there to take back what is mine, but when that moment comes, I might not be myself anymore. Over 6,000 wills against mine and mine alone. I might just become their tool to use to gain power. I need you there, Keon. I need you there to steer me back to myself, to regain my own mind. If it's already getting to me now, you can only imagine how bad it's going to get. I can't do it without you. She met his eyes. You already know what I'm going to say. I will stay with you for as long as you need me, he replied.